Welcome back. Welcome back. We're gonna do next part of Roottrees are dead. I listened to the video, last video. The audio was kind of the game audio, and it was decently quiet. Wasn't a big fan of that. I needed to be able to hear though whenever I was actually doing the video, so I don't know. I probably fucked something up. It's hard to tell with one monitor. Like, I'd like to have OBS open on the other screen where I could actually tell what's going on, but it is what it is. And see, like, I'm still trying to figure out if I turn down my volume, like, on the system, does it turn it down on OBS? I don't know. Alright, let's jump into it. Like, when we left off, I had just figured out Carl's stuff. So, let's go to our evidence. I need to see what time I started. We'll call it about, okay. So yeah, trying to do, like I said last time, about 45 minutes to an hour, 30 minutes to an hour, whatever. Because I've still got life duties to attend to. Cool. Alright, let's try to Gwen Roottrees. Let's we've got other stuff that we found, but I just kind of want to work through these notable people. Okay, you find some information on a website about old films that are not yet available on VHS. The site is not very well organized and the search is broken, but you can get to individual pages from your search engine. Gwen Roottrees is a somewhat well-known actress who was active in the 1950s. She often appeared in tabloids, especially around the time of her highly publicized divorce. Biggest role was the minor hit movie Guys Like Us. She left Hollywood after the flop of Christmas Mission. There's a widely circulated picture of Gwen from behind the scenes on one of her movies, which you've added to evidence. Gwen was the granddaughter of Elias Roottree, founder of Roottree Candy. She wouldn't have been named Roottree. She shouldn't have been named Roottree, but her father took her mother's famous name. Interesting, okay. Grandfather be somewhere in here. So she's going to be part of this second generation here. Alright. Wait. Yeah, I mean second. Whatever. Oh damn. Alright, this photo is a widely circulated photo of Gwen Roottrees. You've seen on multiple websites about old films. Gwen Roottrees is on it. Yeah, okay. Alright, so cool. She's still on the list, so I guess there's still quite a bit more to find out. I'm going to take note of her. Highlight. I guess I'm gonna put it here. I mentioned in my last video, like, I don't know how to really. Oh, I forgot I wanted to look into that. I don't know how to really what the best way is to organize things, so we're just gonna roll with this for now. So she's not one of Elias's kids. She's part of the next generation after that, it looks like. So we're gonna say actress. Oops. And Elias's granddaughter. I don't know. I can't remember the grandma's name. Last name should not have been Roottree, but but her father took her mother's last name. I remember yesterday mentioning that that's a possibility where somebody can have a different last name than you'd think that they would, so it looks like we're gonna have an instance of that. Yeah. But her father took her mother's last name. Okay. Let me see. I want to look at these movies and see what we can see. Guys Like Us. Find some information. Blah, blah. I think I already said that, yeah. Guys Like Us, a 1953 film in which two secretaries cut their hair short and pose as businessmen to get ahead in life until one of them falls in love with their client, and hilarity ensues, starring Gwen Roottrees, Leslie Florence, and Harrison Lane. Did you know the title is a play on words that can be read that the two women are men? Wait, that the two women are men similar to other men, or that the men are fond of them. Weird way to word that, but okay. Leslie, Florence, Harrison Lane. I want to see if that comes up with anything. Oh, and you know what? Didn't it mention actress divorced at some point? Yeah, she got divorced, so we're gonna go with that. Let's see. Leslie, Florence, Gwen Roottrees co-star. Not much relevant information. Okay. Whoops. Oh, I meant to bring that up whenever I was talking about something from yesterday. I listened back to the video I'd recorded, that first video, and I know I mentioned that my keyboard was loud, but holy fuck, I'm sorry. It's what I've got right now, and it looks like a typewriter and stuff. It's really cool when it's just me. It doesn't bother me. It sounds cool, that stuff. It kind of goes with this detective vibe that's happening right now, but like as far as it being practical for recording, that is a big no. So I'm gonna have to look into something for that. Harrison Lane was a television actor with a major role in Guys Like Us and some other films. His largest role before that was as a villain in the first season of Western Frontiers. Due to the popularity of Guys Like Us, studio brought Lane back to play the villain's twin brother, this time as a hero joining a protagonist. Western Frontiers has no connection to the Roottrees. Harrison Lane seems to be a dead end. Okay. There's one other thing. What was it? There's another movie. Christmas Mission. That was it. I want to see if we get anything from that. Christmas Mission is on a page called Flops. It was a rare movie about World War I released in 1955 that received, or war movie, not rare movie, that received poor reviews and lost the studio money. Gwen Roottrees had a role as a soldier's wife who wrote him letters from home. No additional relevant info. The movie is marketed as an incredible true story, but no record of its happening has ever been found. That's usually how it goes. Okay, so these guys are dead ends. I'm just going to get rid of the note. Okay. Okay, what else do we have? What do I look up? Okay, we're gonna... I think that line might be dead right now. We've got her picture, which is all well and good. Whoops, she's still on there, though. I don't know. We'll come back to that. Okay, Red Roottrees. Let's look up Red. Red Roottrees. Find some information on a website about strange historical facts. Loisius Herring Roottrees, aka Red Herring, was an appointed judge and politician who earned his nickname ironically because he was the ambassador to Ireland for only about 6 days. Eh? My Icelandic folks. Ireland. I'm a dummy. Okay. Guys, I'm not dyslexic, I don't think, but I don't know. I thought that said Iceland. Ireland. Red? Red hair? I don't know. If anyone can make sense of that joke, let me know one day. That'd be cool, because I whatever. He served what some people contend is the shortest term in history. A few days after he was appointed, he was heard disparaging his position in the Irish people. Then tried to run for state senate. He claimed to be related to the Roottrees Candy Company in a newspaper ad, but it came out that the last name was... Oh, okay, cool. So he has nothing to do with anything. That's awesome. Okay. That's pretty funny. I like that. Jim Roottrees. I wonder if I need to... If that's like a nickname, if it's going to be James. I'll try Jim first. James Roottrees, yeah, is a singer who sings in the duo Jim and Diamond. Okay, let's make a note of that. Reorder. Oh, I need to add a page first. Okay. Go there. Move it there. Okay. So we'll name this one Jim and Diamond and just kind of have their family stuff up in here. So we've got... whoops, okay. James... Whoops, Roottrees. Good God, Roottrees. God damn. Singer. Diamond. LaRue, either LaRue or LaRoe. Singer, wait. Okay. Duo, according to many sources you find, is considered a one-hit wonder due to the disco song Rollin' On Down to the City. It's now in your evidence folder. Although Jim writes the majority of songs, plays the guitar, and often sings, Diamond is considered by fans to be the band's lead singer. Okay, so Diamond is a singer. I don't know. Guitarist and a writer? Okay. The band never had another hit, but has its fans who refer to themselves as Diamonds Dazzlers. Diamonds Dazzlers fan club. The rest of their music is more folksy and acoustic than the one song they were known for. Jim and Diamond have continued to release music through the 80s, early 90s. Other albums you find mentioned are Cherry Tree and The Sound of Laughter. Jim has become a bit of a recluse, hasn't made a public appearance since 1996. Okay. Albums. Cherry Tree, Sound of Good God, Sound of Laughter, song, Rolling on Down to the City. Okay, let me look up Diamond, see if we get something new. This looks like it's the same page. Okay, cool. Diamonds Dazzlers. Cool, we got something. Diamonds Dazzlers is the name of the official fan club for Jim and Diamond. You find a forum post called Cool Things You Got in the Mail on a random forum about video games. One reply mentions that Jim and Diamond still send out a Christmas card every year to Diamonds Dazzlers. It's accompanied by some pictures as well as some history about the fan club. Apparently, even though it is no longer available to join, Jim and Diamond still honor it themselves personally. There is a fierce debate in the subsequent posts about whether that's cool or pathetic. Kind of reminds me of Heaven's Gate a little bit, where the website's still up and you can email them and shit. Two totally different things, because one is a tragic thing that happened. This is a fictional fan club. So they're actually two very different things. Amongst the pictures of Christmas cards from over the years, only one is relevant. The card from 1996 included pictures of Jim and Diamond's young son, Wolf, as well as a note about his daughter's band, the Floozies. The picture's been added to your evidence. Okay. So, son, Wolf, Roottrees, we can assume. Daughter. Band member, Good God of the Floozies. Damn, hell of a name. Okay, I think. Okay, so that's two new things we got from there. So it's Wolf, Roottrees. Okay, the Floozies. Hell yeah, we're finding all sorts of stuff. The Floozies are an all-female punk band operating out of New York City. They're mentioned in passing in an online review from earlier this year. Apparently they were the opening act for the band. The reviewer actually came to see. The reviewer writes that she normally doesn't review the opening act, but this one was unusual. Not because of the music, which she described as loud, fast, and repetitive, but not in a good way. The trio was extremely cagey about their identities. Good God. The reviewer asked the venue who they were, and she was told they were rumored to be the children of other famous musicians and didn't want that to be why they became popular. The reviewer also mentioned that for an underground and unknown band with absolutely no following, their equipment was all extremely expensive, and not only were they selling CDs, but they only cost $1. They probably were losing a fortune. Damn, Nepo band. The reviewer said, although she bought a copy, she would be unlikely to ever listen to any of it again, except maybe Beef Baby, the 7th track. There's no picture of the Floozies performing live, but the cover from the CD they were selling, Conquistador, has been added to your evidence. Okay. Beef Baby Conquistador. Nothing else was really gathered from that. Gained, rather. Okay. Beef Baby. Beef Baby is song by the Floozies. Can't actually find anything else about it, but with a name like that, it's hard not to speculate. It could be euphemism. Or about a newborn cow. Perhaps the Floozies are holding a grudge against a toddler. It certainly piques your interest if only you had the time or resources to look into it further. Yeah. Okay, dead end. Conquistador. It said I had the album cover. Okay, so it just takes me literally back to. Okay, cool. So I'd say, yeah, I'm gonna check out that album cover, but I'm not really gaining anything from that. Oh yeah, this, okay, you found a picture of a Christmas card from Jim and Diamond to their fan club in 1996, 2 years ago. The description said it included a picture of his son, Wolf, listening to his parents' latest music. Okay, so that is Wolf Roottrees. We've got his picture. CD from a band called the Floozies that is only available at their live shows. The credits on the cover say guitars/vocals, Candy, bass is Nikki, drums is Nina. So, okay. Okay, so she's playing the guitar. That's the only picture it let me get. Let's see if there's a Candy Roottrees. Fuck, where is that list? There it is. Roottrees. Candy right there, okay. What were the other names? Nikki. Fuck. Nikki and Nina. Okay, let me make sure those aren't names. Oh my god. I click everything but what I want. There, okay. Nikki and Nina Roottrees. Okay, so I think it's safe to say Candy is their daughter. So we're gonna say Candy Roottrees, the Floozies, pink hair. Because I have no idea where she actually is gonna go on the. I have no idea where she's going on the whole dealio. Okay, what do we... yeah, I forgot I got this album. Rolling On Down to the City was barely a top 20 hit for a few weeks in 1979. According to the liner notes, it satirizes how a part of society was content to remain indifferent to economic inflation and civil unrest in the Middle East unless pop culture tricked them into caring. God damn, that is still so true. Somewhat ironically, listeners didn't seem to pay attention to lyrics enough to trick them into caring. Instead, most of its play came from roller discos because I was born way after disco and all that shit, but roller disco, like, that kind of sounds like that'd be cool. Because it was such a product of its time, it doesn't get much play anymore, even even on stations that play oldies. Maybe that's why it was just funny because it doesn't get much play anymore, and yeah, kids say, okay, anyway, I don't fucking know. Even on stations that play oldies, maybe that's why you'd never heard of it before now. This image is from an auction for a sealed copy. It has a sticker that says only the great-grandson of Elias Roottrees could make disco this sweet. It is credited to Peter Janowitz from MMM. Music and lyrics by Jim Roottrees, vocals by Jim Roottrees and Diamond LaRoe. Jim Roottrees on Noble List, blah blah. Lyrics of this song contain no clues. Okay. I can apparently play it. Whoops. What is it? Great-grandson? Was that what it was? Great-grandson of Elias. Okay. So, James Roottrees. Elias's great-grandson. So, he'll be in this, he'll be somewhere in here. Oh, wait, hold up. Okay. That would be Elias' son, grandson, great-grandson. I think he goes here. That looks like the only notable person. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna go with that. James Roottrees. Okay, cool. I like that it actually, they recorded a song for this and everything. That's pretty cool. From MMM. Peter Janovich. MMM, I assume that's a magazine or something. Nothing relevant. Oh, okay. Well, hold on. Let me search this dude. Peter Janovich seemed to be a music critic. You find him mentioned on a fan site about a band unrelated to the Roottrees. He used to work for Modern Music Monthly before the magazine went under. Okay. Modern Music Monthly. Music Monthly, and then we'll do Roottrees. Modern Music... Oh, cool. Modern Music Monthly has played host to many Roottrees advertisements over the year for many products, including... Oh, okay. 5 pieces. What can I get from that? It's played... Oh, okay. Didn't really help. Jim Roottrees? Gosh, dude. Review an interview from 1979 titled A Reluctant Hitmaker. Jim goes into his first band. Till a few years ago, Diamond and I were in C&J plus J&D with my cousin and his ex. Okay. C&J, J&D. C&J, okay. Fuck. Make a new note. Cousin. C&J? was in a band with them called C and J plus J and D before the cousin divorced or split up. I don't know. Who's to say they were married? I guess they didn't say wife, did they? Cousin and his ex. I don't know. Okay. And his ex, Clark. Oh, okay. Until a few years ago, Diamond and I were in it, blah, 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 with my cousin and his ex. Clark never knew his father, so our grandpop insisted he spend time with my dad and me. As a result, Clark and I grew up like brothers. Diamond and Jane, okay, on the other hand, are actually sisters. So, okay, we're getting some shit here. So, his cousin is Clark. Roottrees, possibly? And then Jane, apparently she was sisters with Diamond, and Diamond is LaRue. So, okay. Clark Roottrees and Jane LaRue. Or LaRue, whatever, I don't know. Grew up like brothers. Diamond and Jane, on the other hand, are actually sisters. So the four of us had a sort of cutesy family band thing going on. Not our finest hour, regardless, when Diamond walked in on Clark in bed. When Diamond walked in on Clark in bed with her youngest sister, everything exploded. No more family band. The only thing Clark and I had in common was music, but even then we never agreed on what it should be. He was always more interested in catchy tunes, something you hum a week later. I've been told Roland is like that, but that wasn't my goal. When he called me up and said he liked it, I took it as a sign I was going in the wrong direction musically. That made him laugh, but I'm trying to make art. I don't mind saying any of this because he'd agree. For most of the decade, he was a mess, but he's a lot happier now. He started Raffer Tunes. Okay. Raffer Tunes. And he's a much better jingle writer than songwriter. One of the benefits of our famous family is a massive company willing to be a client. It's also how my father was connected to Roottrees. All of his old ad campaigns were hung on the walls over the record player, but I was never interested. I just went straight for the music. I guess Clark was paying more attention. So James's dad was like a... If he did an ad campaign, he was like a marketer, maybe? Okay. Cool. So we got a few things from that. Let me see if Raffer Tunes, if this thing has ever covered them. No, okay. C and shit, what was it? C and J plus J and D. Section of the magazine called Skip It or Flip It has short, pithy blurbs about new records. An album called These Times is listed under the Skip It column with the following: These Times, a new single from... Okay, cool. Hell yeah. So it's not Roottrees. They're just giving us stuff. Clark Rafferty, Jim Roottrees, and two of the LaRue sisters, amateurish folk-style songwriters, catchy at times, but ultimately does nothing new. Album, or the song was called These Times. Okay, so Clark Rafferty created band Raffer Tunes, J. LaRue, Clark's ex. Okay, so I'll put James's cousin. Clark Rafferty created band Raffer Tunes, J. LaRue, Clark's ex. I don't think I need this anymore. I don't know, I'll leave it for now, but I don't think I need it. Okay, I want to search These Times and see if something comes up. Cool. Band called C&J and J&D released one single called These Times. Someone with the username XXX Diehard Dazzler XXX scanned the cover and noted that it cost him over $200 at auction. Apparently, this was Jim Roottrees and Diamond LaRue's first song together. He also mentions that it was performed with Jim's cousin and Diamond's sister, and that it was only somewhat similar to Jim and Diamond's later works. Can't find anything else about Diehard Dazzler, the band, or the single, so all it's left to do is add the scan to your evidence. After a blazing fast 35-minute download, the track is also available. I feel like that's being generous. 35 minutes back in the day. Hell, maybe not. Maybe that's right on. Maybe that's right on where it's supposed to be. Okay, so we got some pickies here. Who is who? I don't know yet. These times, an old single from a folk group, C&JJ&D. You have a scan of the album as well as a recording of the title track thanks to a collector of Jim. Recording the title track thanks to a collector of Jim and Roottrees memorabilia. The website also listed the song's credits as music and lyrics by Clark Rafferty and Jim Roottrees, backup vocals by the LaRues. On it is a sticker that says folk style songwriting catchy, which is funny because that's not exactly what was said. The lyrics of this song contain no clues. Okay, let's do it for a second. I mean, I don't know. I'll take its word for it. The lyrics of this song contain no clues. I don't know where. Life is life, love shall be. So, I do have a picture of Jim right there, and he was married to Diamond. Okay, and then he was a what would that be? Actor, advertising artist, author, baby, cause your CEO, blah blah blah. Musician. Okay, cool. Okay, so I don't. Oh yeah. Okay. What were his kids again? It was Candy and Wolf, I think. Son, Wolf Roottrees, daughter Candy. Candy looked like the older of the two, considering she's in a band and all that shit. Wolf kind of looks like he's a kid-ish. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna say Candy's the older of the two. I'm gonna lock it in, Coach. Okay, so that's Candy. Brick. Wolf is right there. Candy, Roottrees. Wolf, Roottrees. She is a musician. Oops. He's a student or something, I'd say. College or K-12. Ooh. It said young son, didn't it? So there's a picture of his son Wolf listening to shit. Okay. I couldn't find anything about Wolf though. I mean, I don't know. Okay, we'll come back to that. I'd hate to put. Well, no, I guess I found out that if it locks it in, it's gotta be right, yeah? Okay, hopefully that was right. These three entries are correct in the mark. Cool, okay. Good deal, alright. Wow, it's just gonna play over this audio, cool.
You're on a roll. I'll try to keep that momentum going. Carl's office was a mess, thanks to some burst pipes.
Carl.
But I unearthed a photo from a 1970s Roottrees reunion. I also found some looking papers. You've traced 9 blood relatives so far. I'll have more to share after you find 9 more.
Okay. Looked like we got a lot of new evidence. I don't know. Oh fuck, who was that a picture of? Was that Elias? I forget. What did I get that from? Shit. I think that was his Watchman of the Year poster or something. No, it was not. It was this. Okay, so yeah, that's Elias. Okay, so I've got a bonus picture of him that I'll throw in. Get rid of that. Okay, cool. Okay, let's see. James Roottrees. I mean, he's got a mole. Okay. That guy does not. That guy does. So, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more. Make sure that's correct. Fuck, where is it? No mole. That guy's a mole. Okay, so that's got to be James, and that's got to be Clark down there. Okay. James right there. Cool. Okay, Clark is his cousin, but apparently he's not famous because there was no one else in here with a star. So, what did I get? I don't want too much happening I want to kind of stay on this track, but I don't know. I think I've exhausted it for now. Let me double check. C&J, I'm pretty sure I found out everything I could. Clark Rafferty. Okay, I do want to look into that. And Jane LaRoe. I'm gonna take out. No, I guess I'll leave it. I'll truncate this just a little bit with stuff I don't need. Like, I don't need... Actually, do I need that? Cherry Tree Sound of Laughter. Let me double check. Assume this is a generic thing. Yeah. Sound of Laughter. Album, you can't even find a picture of the cover. Wasn't very successful. Reviews middling, even for fans. Some basic liner notes exist on a Jim Roottrees fan page, and it states that the lyrics and guitar are credited to Jim Roottrees, and the vocals are credited to Diamond LaRue. Okay. So what I want to do, Diamond that's her. I want to assume if she's got blonde hair that's her right there. We gonna lock it in, coach. All right. What was I? Clark. Yeah. Okay, I wanted to truncate my notes a little bit. So edit that. I think, okay, I've exhausted that. I don't really need that anymore. That's fine. I don't need that. Don't need that. Okay, son. Oh, and yeah, I've got her info. Okay. This seems like maybe it's going to become a new thing. So I'll start this here. Clark Rafferty. Okay. In James Roottrees generation, I would say. Okay, let's see what we can find on Clark. Actually, let me check that periodical real quick. Clark Rafferty. Oh, I think I must have already done that. I wasn't even thinking. Okay, Spider Search. Clark Rafferty. A few fan sites for the band. Jim and Diamond seem to mention that he used to make music with Clark Rafferty. Okay, well, I think I already looked up these times here, right? Yeah, okay. So, dead end search for him, which makes sense because I don't think he was on the notable... He's not on the notable list from what I remember. Yeah, Lauren, Miracle Jr., Quinn. Okay. Okay. Before I really dive headlong into that stuff, though, I want to kind of see these other notable people, what I can find on them. I really don't know what the best way to do this is gonna be, but we'll just work our way on down. Lauren Roottrees. Okay. I may as well start a new page for her. Add page. Lauren Root. Oops. Gosh dang it. Roottrees. Okay. Search. Spider search. Lauren Roottrees. Author Lauren Roottrees, a distant relative of the Roottrees sisters, is known for her book A Life Between Wars. Okay. Wrote a life between wars. Okay. According to a website about famous authors, in the early 1960s, Lauren released a few romance novels under her married name, Lauren Rafferty. Oh, Rafferty. Okay. All right. Married name, Lauren Rafferty, but she's going by Roottrees. Interesting. To little fanfare, when her publisher learned she had been keeping diaries about her famous family, they insisted she release them under her original name, Lauren Roottrees, to take advantage of her family's notoriety. Okay, that's why. The selection of diary entries released in 1965 as A Life Between Wars. So wrote A Life Between Wars as Lauren Roottrees. Okay. Spans from the untimely death of her husband in World War II. Her husband is dead. I put widowed. World War II to coping with the post-war world as a young widow and mother, as well as her perspectives on changing times and socialites all the way through the entry into Vietnam. While the content is not considered particularly relevant to modern audiences, it has found New life as an exercise in high school English classes to show an evolution in writing style and for a look into life in previous generations. After the success of her diaries, her publisher re-released her romance novels under the name Lauren Roottrees. This included Romance in Court. Romance in Court, which gained popularity. She followed the re-release up by writing 2 sequels, creating what fans refer to as the Court Jester series. You find no recent details about Lauren, though she is listed as retired. Okay. Court Jester series. So, we got some interesting things there. Rafferty. And she's a notable one, but I don't know exactly where she falls yet on the... But her husband died in World War II, so she can't be... Fuck. I would think she's older than, like, Jim's generation, so Rafferty, Clark's mom, possibly. Unless there's other Raffertys. Alright. Let me do this. Did I already look her up? Is that Lauren Rafferty? Okay, so just the same info. Let's look up A Life Between Wars. Good God. It's because I did that, I think. I put that at the end. Cool. Okay, yeah, I'll definitely check it on the library thing, but I just want to see if we get anything from here. Romance in Court. Romance in Court is a book by Lauren Roottrees. It is the first and most famous of a series of 3 books, often called the Court Jester series. All 3 books in the series are about different romances, but told via the same narrator. You could probably surmise the narrator's profession. The 2 other books are called Return to Court. Return to Court. And New Romance in Court. Searching for them online yields few results. The books had some popularity when they were released in the late 60s. Now, 30 years later, they are in high demand. Okay, so what if I type Court Jester? Same deal. Okay, so let's check the public library. What was it? A life... Oh, author name is going to be Lauren Roottrees. A Life Between Wars. Printing diary _5 piece. Oh, okay, cool. We got a bunch of stuff. Published 1965. Good God, it keeps going. Hardcover student edition, republished 1993. Nonfiction. It seems you've hit the jackpot here. Yeah, I would say so. This is a book occasionally taught in schools. You even find a hardcover edition for students that has full-page, high-quality pictures in it. Summary of the contents of the book, photos, as well as some particularly relevant entries from the diary have been added to your evidence. Okay. Before I dive into that, I want to see if I get anything from this. Romance in Court. About the author, Blur mentioned she had inspiration from one of her brothers, Clancy's lectures on the Middle Ages. Okay. Lecture, is he like a professor? Okay, let's add a new note. Brother Clancy, lecturer, question mark. Okay, what else we got? Lauren Roottrees, Return to Court, same thing, and New Romance in Court. Okay. I wonder, because she originally wrote them under a different name, so I wonder if there's any other info if you do that. Right? Lauren Rafferty. Maybe she didn't write those under that name. Was it Romance in Court? No copies available, re-released as Romance in Court. Well, no shit. That's what I typed, didn't it? Turn to Court. Jesus Christ. I can't type worth a damn. Okay. I guess it doesn't matter. Okay. I'm going to say those other books are a dead end then. New Romance in Court. Yeah, we'll just say whatever we got. I think the thing about the brother was the important thing, I'd say, getting that. We did get new evidence. Where was it? Okay, Life Between Wars. This is it. So I'd say that's Lauren, I would assume, and then maybe the husband. The blower notes and observations you made while skimming through Lauren Roottrees' diary pages in A Life Between Wars. Lauren Roottrees is on the notable Roottrees list in your evidence. She will be marked on the chart with a star. Book was published in 1965, consists of diary entries that stretch from 1940 to 1965. The most important event that much of the diary and Lauren's thoughts revolve around was the loss of her husband, Jacob. Jacob died in the final month. Oh, wait. Married name. So her husband, Jacob Rafferty? Let me see if that was a name on my list. Oh, good God. Back out for a second. Rafferty. Jacob and Clark and Chris. Oh, okay, damn. Alright. Oh my God. Getting all confused. Lost her husband, Jacob. Jacob died in the final months of World War II while Lauren was pregnant. This left her to raise her son, Clark, alone. Lauren never remarried and only had one child. Cool. Okay, so Clark is her son. Which means we've got... Okay, so we've... Okay, Clark Rafferty, mother, Lauren, Roottrees, Rafferty, good God. Father is Jacob Rafferty. Okay, so that got us something. Got us something there, but there is a lot. There's a lot to Lauren to figure out. Son is Clark Rafferty. Okay. By skimming the pages of the diary, you glean the following information. She was the granddaughter of Elias and Gwyneth on her father's side. So her father was a Roottrees. Her mother's family was called the Cossells, but she hardly ever mentions them. Her father, who she always refers to as Pop, was the head lawyer for the Roottrees Candy Company, who helped write a legal document called the Clancy Trust, which I think I had made. Yeah, I put. Okay. Written by Lauren Roottrees' father, who was the head lawyer of the company. Okay. Damn. Okay. Go back to Lauren. Wrote a life between blah blah blah. Son Clark. Mother Cossell. Last name. Okay, so her dad is a Roottrees, 100%. Father, something Roottrees. I think 90% of this video is me erasing things and then retyping them on my loud ass keyboard. It's clear from context that the Roottrees have internal shorthand names for the different generations of their family. Lord uses them often 5 pieces. The first generation, yeah, so that was the candy stuff. The first generation of children by Gwyneth and Elias. Lauren's father was in this generation. Okay. So, God. Could be any of these people, I think. Next generation is Lauren's generation, the Free Spirits. The generation after Lauren's, including her son. Okay. Clark. Part of the Free Spirits generation. Part of the next generation. I think whenever it was printing off stuff and it said like there was it said something like next generation, stuff like that. Yeah, okay, yeah, Free Spirits. Okay, so I've got like pictures of them. So Lauren's diary contains some labeled pictures. This is the next generation caption, an attempt to recapture the spirit of the 5 pieces photo with our generation. For old time's sake, we gathered on the warehouse floor. I wanted Eli to stand all the way on the left, since to me he looked a lot like Pop did in the old one. So Eli looks a lot like her dad did. But I was outvoted by my brothers. They insisted the 4 of us stand together. 4 of us stand together. So it'd be like, I guess them or someone. Okay. They insisted the 4 of us stand together, and so we clumped up in the middle and let everyone filter in behind and in front of us. The only one too good to make an appearance was Gwen. So Gwen Roottrees is not in this picture. Interesting. Grandma insisted we include Sam, even if we didn't want to. None of us understood why, including Sam. I also didn't think it fair Miracle made it in, since he's technically a 5-piece. I guess my inner child still holds a grudge even after all these years. So someone in this picture is older than the rest. If I had to guess, it'd be that guy. Okay. Grab their pictures. So Lauren's in here somewhere. A lot of pictures, but okay. We'll come back to that. And we got the 5 pieces. Caption: this picture is famous in our house. Pop even had it framed. That's him on the left. That's him on the left. So this is Lauren's dad. Okay. That's Lauren's dad. Can I click that guy? Ooh, I can. What's your story? Interesting. It was taken in 1935 to celebrate the move to the new warehouse that Eli Jr. designed. So Eli Jr. Fuck. I'm gonna name this one like random. Eli Jr. is an architect, I'd say. Okay. Whoops. Lord. Father. Where did I put father? Something Roottrees. On, person on the left in 5 pieces picture. Okay. So we'll come back to that. Angie and I both wanted to be in the photo since Miracle was in it, and the 3 of us were all about the same age. We were told only the 5 pieces, which really didn't go over well, to say the least. Eventually, I suppose to stop the tantrums, they posed us in front of the camera with Mr. Morden, who was there with Aunt Gwendolyn. I found out years later that they never even took a second photo. Okay, so Lauren has a aunt named Gwendolyn. Frick. Aunt Gwendolyn. Alright. I don't know who this Mr. Morden is, but we'll find out if it's relevant. Miracle. I don't know who the fuck Miracle is either. Okay. So, can't click on that guy. Alright, so we'll come back to that. God damn, that's a lot of people. Free spirits. This photo has a note attached from your employer. Every 20 or so years, the Roottrees would hold a big reunion and recreate an old family photo. Apparently in a fucking like airport hangar or airplane hangar. I don't know. That's a giant space. This is the one from the 70s, and Carl's the teenager in the middle. Carl's the teenager in the middle. So him. That's Carl. Sorry about the water damage. A pipe burst in Carl's office. On the back of the photo, in childish print writing, it says November. There are also a large number of cursive signatures. They include Bonnie, next president, Guy Hudson, Ernie Jr., Carolyn, Gwyneth M., Gwendolyn, Miracle Jr., Jim Roottrees, Clark, Carl, and Eli M. Okay. So Jim Roottrees is in this picture somewhere. But where? Doesn't Jim have like a... I don't know. I would say he's either that guy or that guy, but it could be that guy. I thought he had a mole or something, so I can't really tell. Okay. Whatever. Oh my god, this is a ton of info right now that is just really fucking killing me. We'll come back to that. I think there's more in here. Okay, can I piece together anything right now? Min Lauren, blah blah blah. She's a notable person. Widow is her father. Something Roottrees. Person on the left. Aunt Gwendolyn. Okay. So, Ifik. Where did I say that she falls? She's Clark's mom. So, if Clark is in this generation, she's got to be in here, and she's a notable person. So she's not in there. So it's either her right there or her right there. Okay. Okay. Alright. No. Oh, or she could be there. Fuck. Oh, man. Alright. Okay. There's 3 places she could be. Let's keep reading. Glance at trust, blah, blah, all that shit. Okay, I've got that. Another page. Entry titled Complaints from Lauren Roottrees' diary written in 1953. This entry seems to focus specifically on one of Lauren's family members, Gwen, who is on the notable Roottrees list. Oh, okay, yeah, she was the one that I couldn't really find anything on. It seems everyone has something to complain about. Gwen, as an only child, complained of loneliness. I told her that being expected to watch after 3 younger brothers didn't feel like a blessing, but it fell on deaf ears. Okay, interesting. So... She's one of 4 kids. Oh, what can I do with that? She's one of 4 kids. This person, no. That's gotta be Lauren right there. Gotta be. Oh, okay. So she got 3 brothers. Okay, so Lauren. This is Lauren. 100%. Locking it in. Where are you at? Oh, I need to put a name so there's less pictures. Lauren Roottrees. She's retired now, it said, but I don't think that's an option. Yeah, so I'm gonna say she was a writer. Author? Okay. She was married to Jacob Rafferty. I have his picture. Oh god, where is it? Where are you, Jacob? There you are. Okay, Lauren. Good, Lauren. There you are. Okay, this has to be Clark. Clark Rafferty, and he was on the album cover. Wait a minute. Okay, I've already got that assigned. I thought it just takes it away. So that's gotta be Clark. He was a musician. Ooh. He's been married a few times. He was married to a LaRue, but I don't know if it was his first wife or not. I don't know where she falls in the order of that. So we'll come back to that. Okay, so we've got their little, for the most part, their little family figured out. Okay. One of her brothers is Carl's dad, and the other one is James's dad. Okay. Oh yeah, okay, Gwen. So hold on. Who else was on here? Gwen was a cousin, so she'll be in here. So Gwen is one of these 2 here. Cool. Alright. Okay. I think. Oh, God. Wait a minute. Yeah. Okay. I'm kind of scared to lock this in right now, but we'll see. Where was I? I was in here. Okay, Gwen, only child, complaining loneliness. I had 4 brothers, or 3 brothers. During the summer where I went to stay with her and Aunt Margot, I hoped she would be the sister I never had and that I'd do the same for her. I even tried to dye my hair blonde to fit in with the 2 of them. What a mess. But she just complained to her I was the lucky cousin. Now she's off living the glamorous life while I'm stuck here with Clark. Damn, that's your son, bro. It's harsh. I must admit, seeing her everywhere contributes to my unhappiness. Her visage stares at me, even now from my coffee table. She gets to be in Starlet and tell tales of how she gallivants around the world kissing the likes of Harrison Lane, there's that name again, and Wild Bill Williams. She's the first Roottrees woman to be anything other than a housewife. Oh, and I am jealous. If I were not a single mother, how can I make my own way in this world? I want to note that. Random. What the hell is her name? Gwen Roottrees is the first woman to not be a housewife. Okay. I'm off topic. A girl with all the luck in the world was jealous of me, and now, though I have been undoubtedly burdened by terrible tragedy, I am also lucky to be born into a family that can support me for eternity. I can raise a child without worry, unlike countless other widows. If any of them were to hear me complaining, they would rightfully scoff, just like I do at Gwen. Okay, I want to add, yeah, divorced at some point. Elias's granddaughter. Last name should not have been Roottrees, but her father took her mother's last name. Wait. Dude, are there 2 Gwens? What the hell? But her father took her mother's last name. I don't know. Okay. There's something in here. Actress divorced, it should not have been. So if she's in Lauren's dealio. And she's notable, so she's gotta be He's not up there. I don't think there's any more notables, right? Other than... yeah, just these two. Okay, before I get lost in the sauce, there was one other notable person. Because I'm going to start getting lost in all of this shit if I keep going. So, other notable person... I'm technically still researching those two, but Miracle Jr. Okay. So he's gonna be one of these two. Miracle Jr. Roottrees? Miracle Roottrees Jr. Yes. Gosh damn it! Okay. You find a website for the Miracle Network, a production company run by the Miracle Roottrees estate. It's quite bare bones, but has the following blurb: witness the testimonies of the Miracle's Roottrees. I am getting like Righteous Gemstones vibes. Miracle Roottrees arrived so late in his mother's life that doctors swore he wouldn't survive his first year. His mother and father Elias and Gwyneth named him Miracle because they thought him impossible. He was younger than his brothers and sisters by over 14 years. With a birth that late, the final child of his generation was nearly torn apart by countless health problems, but still with the power of God on his side, he persevered. He tried to overcome these complications and even regained his sight to spread the healing word of the Almighty. 23 years later, Miracle Roottrees Jr. arrived and became the famous family's second vessel for the higher power. At 18, he unburdened himself from the Roottrees name and took his father's testimony to a whole new level. Via the power of television, Miracle Jr. spread the gospel across the entirety of New England. He has since left the life of glamour and glitz behind to reach those places that need it most. Power of the Lord coming to a town near you. Below the blurb is a flyer about the tour, which is in your evidence. Okay. Miracle. Elias. G. Elias Roottrees. CEMMB. But he's the youngest. Okay. MB? It was like Miracle Berry or something. Miracle Roottrees. Okay. Well, that's gotta be him. He's the youngest, right? Okay. And he was a preacher? Is that right? I need to do this. Miracle. Just put that. Miracle Roottrees Senior. It had some other shiz in there. Miracle Roottrees resident. But still, the power of God, he persevered, tried to at 18 and burned it, and took his father's testimony to. Okay, we'll come back to that. So then, okay, how many kids did he have? He had 2. Okay, but this is the noble one, so this has to be Miracle Jr., right? Miracle Jr. How many kids he had? I would assume this is the 3rd. I can't imagine this person naming him the 3rd, but we'll come back to that. He was a televangelist, architect, preacher. Okay. One of those photos, someone said Miracle was in it. I don't know who. Yeah, it's a newest flavor, Miracle Berry. Okay, so yeah, he's the last one. So we'll just rename this actually real quick to just Miracle Roottrees. Okay. I don't really know how much that will be good for me now, but we'll come back to it. Before I look at that flyer, Miracle Roottrees State. Okay. Miracle Network. Miracle Roottrees Estate. Was there anything else? Blah 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 blah. Excuse me. With a birth, blah blah blah. Miracle Jr. At 18, he unburdened himself. Roottrees name in England. Okay, so let's take a look at this flyer. Come back to that. Flyer for the 3 Generations of Miracles tour. The flyer is a few years old. It comes from 1996. The names listed are Miracle Jr., who is said to be world famous and gets top billing. So I assume that's Miracle Jr. He is on the Noble Roottrees list. He will be marked on the chart of the star. Miracle Roottrees, who the flyer says will make a special appearance, Miracle III and his wife Nicole, who are said to be the youth pastors. Okay. Witness the power of the Lord in the summer of 96. That's a pretty bitchin' poster. Three Generations of Miracles Tour, featuring testimony from world-famous Miracle Jr. and a special appearance from Miracle Roottrees in his 68th year on God's earth. Children, now welcome. Celebrate with your pastor, Miracle the Third, and his wife, Nicole. So wait a minute. Be preacher. Celebrate with your pet. Are they saying he's... Okay, fuck it. So that's Miracle the Third. Okay, so Miracle Jr. is this dude in the bitch and rainbow thing. And then that kid is Miracle the Third. Now, youth pastor? No? Pastor? Do I just put preacher then as well, I guess? Or is he a student? I don't fucking know. Oh, okay. Well, shit. Cool. Hey! Cool. Sounds good. Bunch of pictures locked. Fuck yeah. Oh, wait. Now, whenever it's locked, does that mean it literally doesn't show up anymore? Is that what happens? Yeah. Okay, that's how you get removed. Okay. Yeah, been about an hour. We made some good progress. Got some more people locked in. I will pick this back up again soon. I didn't think I'd be able to get back to it so quick, but I was able to, and we've got some good looking, a healthy board getting filled out. Everything was really coming together there at the Miracles, but I don't want to be going too long and then lose track of time. So whenever we come back, I guess we'll look at maybe filling in a little bit more of the Miracles so I can figure out, that's got to be Gwen now then. So I can figure out Gwen's whole deal and what the fuck is going on with her name and those confusing notes. So yeah, until next time, I don't have a sign off just yet, and so we're just gonna go with see ya.